might need a coffee break. How's the book coming?
It stinks. I've had a boring life.
A boring life? You went to Harvard and Yale. You married me. I've had 4 kids. Had a successful career as a lawyer. Served in the Senate for 5 terms. Sponsored and co-sponsored how many important bills? I couldn't keep track. That's not how I would define boring. How far along are you?
Chapter 1, page 1.
You've been at it for 3 weeks. This is as far as you've gotten?
Not even that anymore. I deleted what I had. It's terrible. It's boring, 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 like I say.
Drop some names. Who you went to school with, what they've done with airlines. Write about your first campaign. Write about how we met.
Boring, boring, not boring. But no one wants to read about how we met.
Well, it'll fill in the picture of a great man. How he got to be great. From humble beginnings. It'll humanize you.
People don't want to pay $29.95 to read about how I met you, as wonderful as that event was. Or the kids, none of whom had ever been to rehab. That's not what my publisher's paying for.
Well, dropping names, I don't care what you say, always gets the reader's attention. I know it gets mine. And that can lead to other things, other topics you want to talk about, the important things you want to discuss.
But it's so boring.
So don't write it.
But I signed a contract. They've already started to plan the book tour. Never been on a book tour.
Maybe you should dictate to someone. That might help.
Yeah, but who to?
Hire someone. Maybe your publisher can get someone, or a student, a graduate student, in history or political science. They'd love to hear what you have to say. They'd love to hear about your life inside the Beltway. I know I would.
You know about my life inside the Beltway.
Oh.
You do. I kept you up to date and informed. I did. I included you. And once I had my website up and running, it was there for you to check every day. What I was doing, things I'd said on the floor of the Senate, legislation I was proposing.
You came home and you were tired. You didn't want to talk about it. You were here for R&R. Oh, I felt like some, I don't know, whore, I guess. You hired to get your mind off your work.
I made you feel like that, like a
Whore on occasion. I was here to help you relax and have a good time.
I'm sorry if that's how I made you feel. It was never my intention.
Well, intention or not, I felt like I was here to provide you with a service.
Well,
Oh, sorry, but that's how I felt. Say, you could write about that.
then I made my wife, the mother of my 4 children, feel like
Whore. Our marriage, in a way, was a catastrophe or casualty of your career. It was bound to happen. I understood. I did. And at least there was something I could do for you, if not help you write your speeches or proofread them. There was a spot for me in your life.
I can't write about that, how my career made you feel like that.
Then write about all the affairs you've had. That'll fight for us. Turn it into a real paper.
My affair?
Kidding. Just kidding. Drink your coffee. Have a cookie. What is it? I was joking. I know you'd never do anything like that. I know how busy you were. When would you have had the time? You were, weren't you? Weren't you?
I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I feel so guilty. So, here you were, holding down the fort, making sure the kids stay on the straight and narrow. I was...
Straight.
It wasn't personal.
How could it not be personal?
It had nothing to do with you. How I felt about you or the kids or our life. It was...
What? It was what? Something to do on a free evening when you had time on your hands? Or something to do at the end of the day?
Something like that, yes, I guess.
Like a drink, otherwise.
About as meaningful.
I didn't think you were looking for any kind of meaning in the event.
It was...
It came with the territory?
I guess. And after the first time,
It gets easier?
Not easier. Well, yeah, it's easier. It's got to be routine.
Oh, how lovely. How romantic. Lucky girl. Girls, I guess I should say. Like doing it by the numbers or by rote. No feeling, no passion, just getting all the words out in the right order, so to speak.
Something like that.
So who?
Does it matter really who?
It'll help me fill in the picture of your time inside, but I'll say yes.
The obvious one, of course.
Maybe obvious to you, but not to me.
You want names or just positions?
Position? Like a missionary like that?
Position like that. Though that was mostly the one. Positions on my staff. After a long day, I wasn't too interested or too able to be very creative.
So who?
Like I say, the obvious ones. My receptionist. 2 of my researchers. 3 of my lower-level assistants. An assistant to my press secretary. A temp when one of the girls was out sick for a week. People like that.
Anyone I might have read about in the papers? Someone you describe in your book as, Lady this one, or Madam X, or, in order to protect their identity and reputation?
1 or 2.
1 or 2.
Or a few. There were a number of embassy parties I attended over the years.
Oh, yes, I remember those pictures you posted on your website of Lady this one and Lady that one and Madam whoever. So you went to them. Well, I spent the evening trying to find something on the TV that wasn't a repeat of something I'd already seen a half a dozen times before.
That's how it felt, honestly, like a rerun or a show where they recast the leading lady, and instead of it being Shelley, this time it's somebody named Kirsty.
And what was I? Was I a recast? Or part of the original company who decided that this job is better than no job at all, and so I just kept singing the same old songs and danced the same old routines and took the paycheck? Oh, boy.
Well, I always look forward to seeing you, coming home, spending time with you here.
I'll bet. You were exhausted. Like when the kids would come home on semester break for the holidays, this was a place to crash, to catch up on their sleep, run out and see old friends. Delightful.
I knew where my heart was.
Save it for a pillow. That'll look great in needlepoint. But get someone else to do it for you.
So now what?
So now what? What do you mean?
Do we?
What? Separate? Divorce? What would be the point? You have a nice pension. We have good health insurance. I get all my prescriptions for little or next to nothing, thanks to that plan.
For that, you'd stay?
That. And a lot of other things.
Like what?
Like remembering the first time you took my hand in yours. The first time that we made love, and boy, you were so terribly nervous.
Because I wanted to be so good to impress you.
And you did.
In a good way?
In a sweet way. A very sweet way. How you looked. After I had each one of the kids, you came into my hospital room like each one of them was a miracle. David, Danny, Barry, and Barbara. Especially her, when we finally had that girl. You said in a hushed tone, an almost religious tone, Barbara. Stretching out each one of the syllables. Barbara. Just like that. And watching you get your law degree and coming home and announcing I made partner, and then they want me to run for the Senate, and so many other times. My head is a scrapbook full of so many memories.
And now I give you this one.
To be honest, to be fair to you, I always expected this. And you're an attractive man. What chance do we have with you being in a town where power is so very sexy?
The ultimate aphrodisiac.
I can only imagine the temptation. All that young and not so young flesh right under your nose, right at your fingertips, hanging on to your every word. Even if it was just something like, get me a cup of coffee. It was coffee for you. You would have had to have been a saint to resist.
Well, sad to say I wasn't. Who's a saint is you. I may not have chapter 1, page 1, but I do have my dedication. To my wife, Beverly, the greatest wife ever.
human frailty is called human frailty because it is so very human.
I'm going to write a book that will deserve that dedication. I've been looking for a mission. Now I have one, to restore and earn back your good opinion of me.
So have some coffee and eat those cookies and get cracking. You want me to reheat that coffee? I can stop it in the microwave.
No, cold is fine. I'll let you know when I deserve a hot cup. So, you're okay? You're okay?
I've never had anyone dedicate a book to me, so buckle down and get to work. I want to see pages flying out of that printer.
I will make sure this makes it to the bestseller list. And not just on it, #1 on it.
It's always good to have a goal.
And you've given me one. Maybe this was why.
Why what?
Why I was having so much trouble writing the book before. Because all the public events were reminding me of the private ones. I always knew what was going on behind the scenes.
Could be. So, dinner at 6. Pork chops like your mother makes them and potatoes au gratin.
Sounds great.
And peach cobbler for dessert.
Oh, you know me and your cobbler.
And one more thing.
What's that?
Barbara isn't yours.